On today's episode, we're going to launch some satellites, eat some tortillas, and build some trusses. This is STS-61B. You were going to say something.
I was going to say nice.
Nice, yes. Welcome to End of Mission, the podcast where we talk about space missions that have ended. I'm Paul, the pressure-fed astronaut. And who are you eating these tortillas with me?
Face of Sarcasm.
That's it? That's all there is to you?
That's all there is. That's all they gave me was a name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. What do you think?
Can't have anything in Detroit.
That's true. Why are we in Detroit now?
For redevelopment? I don't know.
Oh.
He's trying to reference a meme, and it's just... What are we talking about?
What do you think we're doing?
Something to do with the shuttle, eating tortillas, and building trusses.
Yeah, look at that. That's a big old truss they're building.
Yeah, very big truss.
They're going back down to Earth, actually. They forgot something.
Oh, okay. See, that's a lot smarter, right? You start in space, and then you build that back down to Earth.
That's actually how they build space elevators. That's the plan.
Perfect. Right, they're already getting started. Cool.
Yeah.
And that's how they built the pyramids, too.
Yeah.
Started with the top and built down.
Well, yeah, because the aliens had the UFOs to hold them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're off to a very good start. Welcome to 2025, everybody.
Recording this in 2024, so, tell us in the comments below how 2025 goes.
Well, the first, week.
Yeah. Yeah, so?
Yeah, that's true. I hope it goes well. We said this last time, and, things happened. Okay, but first, we're going to the moon.
Going back, baby.
Woo! Artemis
yes.
2 stacking has begun.
Woo.
See? There it is. It's going to launch in April 2026, which is a bit disappointing, but more time.
It's launching.
More time for me to get over there.
Yeah.
I got to finish graduate school this year. And this is the Artemis 1 heat shield, by the way. Doesn't look so bad now, does it?
No, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. So the problem they discovered, if I remember correctly, is there was hot gas getting pushed into the tiles, into the porous structure of them, and they'd blow up.
Ooh, that's not good.
And apparently the problem with it was like a transfer of knowledge between shifting programs from the original Orion, which was under Constellation, which was canceled in 2010, and then the new Orion, the one that we're kind of working on now. It was one of those where it just took so long to build that they kind of...
They forgot how to make it a little bit.
It was more of that specific issue somehow got lost in the details.
Oh, okay.
Is the one downside to doing things slowly is know-how.
Yeah. Hey, documentation is also very important.
Yeah, write things down.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hey, Artemis 2 is happening. Woohoo!
Going back, baby.
Yeah.
Going back to the moon.
Yeah. Speaking of Artemis, actually, it's actually a tie-in to Artemis on this flight. Aside from the whole shuttle-derived stuff, obviously. So today's mission is STS-61B. So it was the second mission planned from Kennedy Space Center for 1986, launching in 1985. Because time's funny.
Yeah, so they went back in time to launch this one?
It's just how scheduling worked out. Challenger was STS-51L. Actually, this was the original STS-51L by name designation, but they changed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So today's flight is Atlantis on its second mission.
Yeah.
Yep, OV-104. This is the 23rd flight of the shuttle program. Second flight of Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
The previous flight of the shuttle program was STS-61A. For future episodes, I want to make note of the last flight of the specific shuttle.
Okay.
I'll just make little parentheses. And as a fun fact, this is the fastest turnaround for the shuttle.
Oh, really? How fast was it turned around?
54 days.
Whoa, dang. That's fast.
Yeah. This is also the last flight of 1985. I think the most space flights with crew to take place ever. Because the shuttle program was going towards, Challenger at this point. So
yeah.
We'll get to that eventually. But yeah, so the first flight of Atlantis was STS-51J, which is, I think, a DoD mission.
Oh, cool. So it's automatically starting out with the secret stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
Cool stuff, yeah. So on this mission, they're going to deploy 3 geostationary satellites And the big experiment they're flying is in the payload bay, as we saw. It's called Ease and Access,
Ooh.
which are space station construction techniques.
Nice.
They're going to build trusses a lot.
A lot of trusses. Gotta love trusses. Trusses are great.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. On board this flight is the first Mexican astronaut.
Hey, awesome.
And one of the OMS engines was the main propulsion system for the Orion on Artemis 1.
Oh, hey, got that legacy.
Yep. And then, so the mission's going to start on November 27th, 1985, which is the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. They're bringing a turkey up with them?
They actually had Thanksgiving on board. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, space food version of it, though. So it's like
Oh.
yeah. So it's, food and air quotes.
I'd rather eat casserole.
It's called hot dish.
Okay.
Gosh, some people. I hope my audio's fixed by now, by the way.
Wait, isn't November 27th, 1985, isn't that when, no, it's October. I was going to say, isn't that when Marty McFly goes back in time?
Yeah, it's different. Gosh, your stuff right.
It was October 26th, 1985, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because on November 5th, 1955 is when Doc Brown he fell, hit his head, and invented the flux capacitor.
Yeah, and then it was on November 12th that they had the lightning strike at 10:04 p.m.
Yeah. This is the second time we've talked about Back to the Future.
It's a good movie.
It is true.
All right.
So this mission's not that exciting. I mean, it is exciting, but it's not many science experiments. Look, let's go.
It's a science experiment.
Sorry, I've been reading about STS-83, and I've started working on that one. So you saw the list. There's like 50 experiments on that one.
Yeah.
So here's what's on board: satellites,
Okay.
ease and access, IMAX cameras, a gas can, and some experiments in the mid deck.
I thought for a second that said ICBM. It's like, wait a minute, what are we doing?
It's a DoD mission, all right.
Yeah.
So here's our 3 spacecraft.
Okay.
We have AUSSAT-2. It's Australian.
Really?
Yes.
Never would have guessed. Based
Yeah.
off Aus.
Well, it could have been Austria as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could have.
Yeah. So it's a HS-376 satellite, which is the most common satellite launched on the shuttle.
Okay.
It's the circular one.
Cylindrical.
Whatever. With so this one's got 15 channels that are 45 megahertz wide. It's aiming for 164 degrees east over Australia. Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think they would have put it over Australia.
So I think this one, or AUSSAT-1, is near Papua New Guinea, which is just to the north of Australia.
Yeah, it's right above it.
It's using the PAM-D to star 48 for geostationary transfer orbit, and a star 30B to go into orbit. So when it enters orbit, it weighs 654 kilograms.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
We have SATCOM K Upper Band 2. This one's built by RCA Astro using the AS4000 bus. It's a 16 K upper band transmitter. It's going
Okay, those letters and words, those meant something to me.
K upper band is what they use for satellite TV.
Okay.
It's also near the water absorption spectra, which is why whenever you have storms, you lose satellite TV.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Storms are cool.
So they're aiming for 81 degrees west. First flight of the PAM-D2, which is a Star 63 motor, and it weighs about a ton. This is actually, I think, the most powerful geostationary communication satellite at the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Then
That's impressive, I guess, with the technology they had at the time.
Yeah.
1985 technology.
Yeah, it's satellite TV technology. It's amazing.
All right.
Yeah. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, because we still have satellite television.
We do. It's kind of dying, though, I think.
Really? What replaced it?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Anyway, subscribe.
Yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Recommend this to all your friends. So then the other one is Morelos 2, Morelos B at launch. It's Mexican. It launches on the HS-376 bus. Wow. Look at this.
Wow.
Aren't these so interesting?
Yeah. Look at this cylinder.
Yeah. Well, these fold out, This.
Yeah. Yeah. It opens up and then the trash lid pops open.
Yeah. TV.
TV.
This is the first customer on this bus to use the C and K upper bands on one spacecraft.
Ooh.
Which means it had a unique antenna configuration to do both.
Wow.
Yeah, exciting.
Interesting. Fascinating.
If you really like satellite telecommunications, this is really exciting.
But if you're normal,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, of course, normal, yeah. How many slides is this? 50 slides of just telecommunications? Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Yeah. Like, oops, all telecommunications.
That'd be a funny reveal.
Yeah, really funny.
Oh.
So this one's going to 116.8 degrees west over Mexico. It almost didn't launch because in early 1985 there was a massive earthquake in Mexico City where the command center was for these spacecraft.
Oh.
So the concern was, it can't really talk to anything because that got destroyed, but it's fine. That's why that's one of the first Mexican astronaut on this flight. He was there for this.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk when we get to him. I hope this format works better.
Yeah.
And this one weighs about 600 kilograms when it starts because it's this.
Because it's exactly the same.
Let's go to the real star of the show. Ease and access.
Oh, yes.
So EASE is Experimental Assembly of Structures in EVA. EASE.
Ease. It's so easy.
Yeah. So the main goal is to determine the effects of repetitious activity for astronauts assembling and disassembling a large tetrahedron in the payload bay.
Basically, we're putting them on the assembly line and seeing how much they could stand.
No,
it.
that's access.
Oh, okay.
This is different. EASE is different. Access is the assembly line.
Okay, got it.
We're almost there. So, because they're talking about building Space Station Freedom still, and they're going to build it by hand, which is still a very dumb idea. Again, remember we talked about this with STS-49?
Mm-hmm.
Same problem. So what they're trying to do is, well, if you're going to do an assembly line of trusses in space, how does this affect the astronauts?
I went to school, became an astronaut, and I'm just right back to the factory.
And the guy who wrote the study for this was Dave Aiken, and I've met him.
Oh, cool.
He's the Aiken's Laws guy.
What was Aiken's Laws?
It's about spacecraft design. It's like, hey, if you have a budget from this, just multiply it by 10. Your timelines are imaginary, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Don't
so
build new
basically
launch
it's like,
vehicles.
if you think you know how to design a spacecraft, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Cool.
One of those guys. So, yeah, so they did this in the NBL, of course, beforehand, Neutral Buoyancy Lab.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, it's different in space. So
It's
this
not
is
full of water.
Yeah. So this is Access. It's assembly concept for construction of erectable space structures.
Okay, that's an interesting choice of words.
It's called an acronym. You're thinking of the beginning of Kate and Leopold, aren't you? When he's
I
talking
am,
about the
I
Brooklyn
am.
Bridge.
Yep.
Get it out of your system.
This building still stands.
Yeah, that's sure. Yeah.
That's the exact line. That is the exact
yep,
line. You don't
it's
believe
not
me?
this
Look
word.
at it. All right.
You're a terrible person. And
Am I, though? Yes, I am. That was a trick question.
So this one is testing the assembly line space truss manufacturing technique. So you have an astronaut sitting here on top of the MPES, which is the multiple payload adapter in the payload bay. You have another guy down there. They're building trusses, and they'll keep building it up.
Yeah. So they're on the assembly line.
Yeah, they're working. They punch in, they punch out.
Mm-hmm.
And when they get to the second part, so they're going to do this in two different parts. They'll just build trusses, and then they'll do it again, and then simulate repairs, like stringing cable along, or repairing things like a heat pipe. Building a space station.
Yeah, gotta simulate, like, okay, we gotta maintain this thing.
Yeah.
And gotta simulate what that's gonna be like when we're building it right now.
Yeah. So they'll do stuff like this. And then they'll use the remote manipulator system at the end to help, well, what if you do have to do the repair? What if you have to install this? That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a little bit, it's like 45 feet long.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
So they have IMAX cameras in the payload bay that will observe this.
Get it all in IMAX. That's awesome.
Yeah. And there's also a station keeping target they're doing. They're doing station keeping on this flight, too. You can see how much I care about that.
Yeah, station keeping. That's important. Gotta keep the station.
Yeah, you're building this.
Once you build it,
yeah.
We're not gonna chuck it into the void. No, we're gonna bring this thing home.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the mid deck. What do you think the experiments are gonna be on this one?
Growing crystal. Like, come on.
Here we. Oh wait, no, I forgot the gas can.
Oh.
Oops.
So gas cans. Wow. On a
There's-
space shuttle mission? I never thought.
There's one. It's called Towards a Better Mirror, and it's Canadian.
Okay, that is an awesome name. That sounds like a Star Trek episode.
That is true. Yeah, that's a good name.
Yeah.
We have some really good names on this episode, by the way.
Yay.
Yeah. So the goal is to determine if you can manufacture mirrors better in space than on Earth.
And they accidentally open a portal to an alternate universe in doing so?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yep. So what they're doing is vapor. So you use vapor deposition to make mirrors on Earth, but the problem is air is there, so it'll oxidize the layer.
Oh, and that's a bad thing.
So what they're going to do is they have different metals, right? You have aluminum, gold, sodium,
Silver, more gold, transistor,
electronic package,
battery.
yep. 250 watt resistor, 2 places to test out.
Love that element.
Yeah, it's my favorite one. So to see if they can build mirrors better in space, and I'm very sorry I couldn't find any results for this one.
we have no idea. Oh, it's because they opened up the portal and they have to hide that.
Or it's because vampires did this and they don't want you to know.
Ah, right. Yeah.
So that's what they're doing on this one. There's like 300,000 proposals or something for this, or 1,000 or something. A bunch of
different proposals for like how to make a better mirror.
Well, for the gas can, because the Canadians got it. Telesat Canada. So, yeah, it's usually competitions. Like, hey, can you come up with a cool experiment? Because you never know, right? Because if you sit around the lab all day, you're trying to think, what can I do for an experiment? And then some kid goes, well, what if you do this? Thanks, kid. I'm taking that from you now.
They're gonna have no idea you came up with it. I'm taking all the credit.
I mean, it's children. What are they gonna do?
Complain? Yeah. What are you gonna do? Tell your mom?
Yeah.
Your mom works at Telesat? Okay.
Yeah. File a complaint form, buddy, with your crayons. They'll take you seriously there.
Yeah. Do you even know how to write in cursive? Like, come on.
Yeah. So now we're gonna do the first experiment you guessed correctly. We're gonna do some. No.
Yes.
Yeah. Cephas. Woo! It's flying again. It's the 7th time Cephas will fly.
Yeah.
So this one is the ability to separate a sufficient quantity of biological material for animal and clinical testing. So they do 66 hours of 1 quart of erythropoietin. I don't know what that is. It's something.
Poietin?
Yeah, that's how it was spelled in the document I read.
Erythropoietin.
I don't know. It's something. There's a quart of it. They got to separate it for animal testing. I don't know.
Just put a quart of oil in there. It'll be good to go.
Yeah, but look, it's our good friend Cephas. It's back. Wow.
Yay.
I just love electrophoresis.
I love growing crystals and counting dust.
We'll get there. So we have diffusive mixing of organic solutions.
Ooh, that sounds fancy. What does it actually mean?
This is a 3M experiment. They're growing crystals in microgravity. Isn't this so exciting?
Where are we gonna?
When we started this, did you think we'd be talking so much about crystal growth?
I did not realize that they just decided to do Breaking Bad at space.
Yeah.
You just give engineers a limited supply of money, and they will just grow crystals.
I mean, growing crystals is pretty fun and cool.
Yeah,
but it's also just every fight.
But for the 167th time,
yeah,
it gets a little old.
So there's 6 reactors, and each reactor has 3 chambers.
Okay, when you say that sounds awesome.
Yes. So 2 cells are exclusive to the physics of mixing processes.
Mm-hmm.
One has a yellow and blue dye in one of the chambers, and then the other one has light methanol.
Oh, okay.
That's what alcohol. Don't drink it.
So one of them has colored dyes, the other one has alcohol.
Yeah, let me see how they mix in microgravity, because it's diffusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing how they mix in microgravity.
We're trying to. Bob Ross needs a new color palette.
Exactly.
We're setting up for him.
Yeah. So the other one has red dye and heptane.
Okay.
And so
again, the whole color palette.
Yep, we gotta make the colors in space.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 are for crystal growth.
Wow.
So 2 are molecular growth and ordering in ideal conditions. 2 are examining crystal packing and the following electro-optical properties.
What the heck is electrical-optical properties?
Well, like quartz crystals, if you put electricity through them, they vibrate at a certain frequency.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot that they can do that.
Yeah,
that's how, like watches and stuff.
Yeah, that's how those work. That's also why my car car clock.
Car clock.
My car clock is off all the time because it's the different temperature changes the time for the crystal. Because they're all built. Dad said this once. Is all watch crystals are built for your wrist. And they just put those on cars so they don't accommodate for the heat of your body.
Oh. So whoops, we forgot that. Oh, there has to be a person attached to it.
Yeah, so that's why the time in my car is always wrong. It's
because temperature is meaningless to engineers.
Yeah, it's not because I play with the buttons too much.
It's because you play with them not enough.
Yeah. So the one has complex chemicals in chloroform, and the others are proprietary.
So they're knocking the crystals out and trying to see if they still grow?
Yeah. Does this smell like chloroform to you?
Yeah, exactly.
And now we're doing some protein crystal growth.
Yay!
Yeah, so this is the protein crystal growth experiment. Wow.
Wow.
This
exciting.
This one's actually a handheld experiment, as you can see, by Charlie Walker. He's one of the astronauts. So the goal is to demonstrate the ability to make crystals in microgravity that can't be made on Earth.
Wow, really? That's why you're growing crystals in space?
This is shocking, isn't it?
No one else has thought of this.
So two of them are vapor diffusion crystal growth experiments. One's a dialysis growth unit, so I guess they're trying to grow dialysis machines in space.
Or just the kidney stones.
Yeah, it's a kidney stone device. So there's 48 total chambers with precipitation agents like alcohol or saline. 6 will have microscopic particle crystallized protein seeding. So pretty much they'll have a little seed crystal in there to start it.
Okay. So in order to make a crystal, you first have to start with another crystal.
Yeah.
To make Dr. Pepper, let's start with Dr. Pepper.
He must first be a doctor, yes.
Yeah.
So there's the Morelos experiments that were brought up for the Mexicans did. So the first one is effects of spatial environment on the reproduction and growing of bacteria. RepGrow.
RepGrow. That's a great name.
It is.
Trying to say, hey, so it's not just crystals. We're trying to grow bacteria.
Yeah. So they're growing E. coli. And, and then they have bacteriophages that they inject in there to see what the bacteriophages do.
I love microbiological warfare.
Yeah. So then we have transportation of nutrients in a weightless environment. So they have 10 plant specimens planted with a radioactive tracer that'll be absorbed by the plants.
So they're trying to irradiate the plants in space to see what happens to them.
Well, so if you have the tracer in the fluid here, right? And the plants will absorb it. They want to see. They can track the radioactive tracer.
Oh yeah, it's tracer. It's a tracer. So yeah, they're tracing the growth of that. Okay, I see how it is.
Yeah,
I see how that works.
Then actually I think this is RepGrow. I thought this was electropuncture, but it's RepGrow because you can see it looks like bacteria cultures.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot of pixels to work with. I mean, there are pixels to work with. It's just blurry.
Yeah. Actually, I have a photo of this photo being taken.
A photo of the photographer.
So the next experiment that's not this one is electropuncture and biocybernetics in space.
Okay, now we're getting back to the sci-fi good stuff.
Oh, yeah. So this validates electropuncture techniques, that disequilibrium in the behavior of human organs can be monitored and stimulated by electric DC current in specified zones.
Wow, it's almost like people run off of electrochemistry. Who thought?
Yeah. And we have seeds.
Just seeds.
Yeah. We just throw them at each other. Seeds.
Seeds. Seed attack.
Yeah. So
like pocket sand.
Yeah, exactly. Seeds. Effects of weightlessness and light on seed germination. So they have
basically so you can farm in space.
Yeah.
Green acres wasn't enough. Gotta go to black acres because space is black.
Yeah. So they have seeds of amaranth, lentil, and wheat. They plant them in these things on day 2 in identical containers. One of them will be exposed to constant illumination. The other will not.
Oh, okay. So they're trying to freak them out.
Yeah. They were shaped by it, molded by it, you know?
I didn't see the light until I was a full-grown plant, and by then it was just bright.
Yes. Yeah. That's all the experiments. So let's see who's going to fly this mission.
Oh, yeah, finally. Oh, my God.
This is our crew.
Oh, one of them's a doctor.
Yep. Actually, yeah, that's Dr. Mary Cleve. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So, our commander is Brewster H. Shaw Jr.
Yes, that is an awesome name.
That is an astronaut name.
Yeah. Commander Brewster reporting for duty.
Yeah, Brewster Shaw. That's an astronaut name. Yeah, he was born May 16th, 1945, in Cass City, Michigan. We'll forgive him for that.
Yeah, it's okay. Not everyone's perfect. Some people are born in Michigan.
Yeah, or Ohio. I think there's one of these missions has like all Ohio astronauts.
What's wrong with Ohio that they all want to leave it? Get as far away as possible.
Don't know. So he's an Air Force pilot and engineer. He has his master's from UW-Madison. I almost went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes. So there, that's our connection.
You almost went to the same school.
Yes. Yeah. He's from Astronaut Group 8. This is the second of 3 flights for him. He was the pilot on STS-9. He was actually the first astronaut from Group 8 to fly.
Oh, okay.
Or the first one. He's the first commander, I think, from Group 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Our pilot is Brian D. O'Connor, born September 6th, 1946, from Orange, California, as you can see by his uniform.
It's orange, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
You
have to wear the color of the city you're born in if it's named after a color.
I guess so, yes. So he's a Marine pilot and engineer. He went to the University of West Florida. He's from Astronaut Group 9, his first flight of 2. He's Capcom on some earlier shuttle missions, because that's what you do as an astronaut, is you're Capcom.
You start out as Capcom, and then you get promoted to...
You actually get to fly. Well, because it's you should have to be able to interact with people on missions. They're just going to let you fly.
Oh, okay. What if I don't like talking to people?
I don't think you'd be a good astronaut.
Dang it.
You got to talk to them.
Dang. But I love the silent treatment.
That's not going to work. Yeah. Hey, guys, we have fuel cell issues. Yeah, I know. I'm working on it.
Yeah, okay, I can see the problem.
Yeah, bit of an issue there. So Mission Specialist 1, he's not that short, by the way. These are just the photos I was using.
This is actual height.
Yeah. I mean, with a name like Brewster Shaw, I mean, you're like 6 feet tall at least.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
So this is Mission Specialist 1, Jerry Ross. He was born January 20th, 1948. He's from Crown Point, Indiana. He's an Air Force pilot engineer. He's from Group 9. This is his first of 7 flights.
Oh, cool.
He holds the record with Franklin Chang Diaz.
Oh, yeah. So 7 is that's the 7 league.
Yeah. He must really like flying into space. Because he's going to the ISS.
Again?
No, but he went to the ISS. Like his last missions were to the ISS. That's how long he's been doing this.
You said that in the future tense, so I was...
well,
that's what confused me.
In the context of 1985, he's going to the ISS.
Yeah, okay.
I'll stop doing that. I'll shut up. So he worked on shuttle payload integration, and as well as RMS and EVA work. He's going to do EVAs on this flight. You haven't figured it out yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? When they're trying to do experiment with EVAs and building stuff in space?
Yeah,
wow,
weird.
I never thought that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Our mission specialist 2 is Dr. Mary L. Cleve. She was born February 5th, 1947, and she did die in November of 2023.
Dang.
Yeah, it's cancer.
Oof.
Yeah. She's from Southampton, New York. That's on Long Island, so New York City, that area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the big Long Island on the...
Yeah. Yeah, weird name, right?
They named it Long Island. It was very short for some reason.
So she's a biologist and engineer, got her PhD from Utah State. She's from Astronaut Group 9. This is her first of 2 flights, and we'll actually cover her second flight, I think, this year.
Oh, cool.
STS-30, I think.
All right.
And you're doing that one.
Oh. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I can't wait to see Mary again.
Yep. So Mission Specialist 3 is Sherwood Spring, also known as Woody.
I mean, that sounds like a town.
Isn't that the name of the guy who made, like, Gilligan's Island? Like Beverly Hillbillies and like, all those shows from the 60s where the theme was, like, explaining what was going on?
I have no idea.
That sounds like the name of the guy who made those shows.
Okay.
Yeah. He was born September 3rd, 1944. He's from Hartford, Connecticut. He's an Army pilot and engineer. Went to the University of Arizona. We'll forgive him for that. He's from...
We'll forgive him. ASU alumni.
Oh, this is University of Arizona, not
Yeah,
ASU.
yeah, I know. We'll forgive him for that.
Oh, that's true. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, this is going badly. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025.
Yeah.
Even though we're recording this in 2024.
Yeah, Christmas hasn't happened yet. Or has it? So he's from Group 9. This is his only space flight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he got to fly once.
Yeah. He's the Astronaut Office EVA expert. What do you think he's doing on this mission?
Capcom?
Probably.
All right.
His son is actually an Olympic gymnast.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And we have
Got a whole family of astronaut, Olympian.
Yeah. I didn't get a gold medal in truss assembly. We have 2 payload specialists on this flight.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Walker, who was born August 29th, 1948. He's from Bedford, Indiana. He's an aeronautical engineer from Purdue.
Ooh,
Yes.
exciting.
One of my coworkers went to Purdue.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently the guy who invented GPS was one of his lecturers, and they didn't learn anything because people just ask him questions about GPS, and he just keeps talking about it. So you take the one class and you take the one that follows up, and it was, do you guys know any of this? No.
Well, they didn't learn anything. We just kept interrogating the professor about his work.
Yeah. Didn't learn anything. So he's the McDonnell Douglas payload specialist. He does Cephas. He's the guy who designed Cephas and works on it. That's why he's flying these missions.
He designed Cephas.
Yeah. At least he worked on it. He was part of the team. Obviously, it wasn't him alone, but yeah, he was.
Right, okay. He's one of the. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is his last of 3 flights. He was the payload specialist on STS-41D and 51D. What do you think he did on those flights?
Capcom.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Actually, 51D was I think April that year.
So he just he did the turnaround.
Yeah, he walked out, went straight back in. And then payload specialist 2 is Rudolfo Neri Vela.
That's a cool name.
It is. He was born February 19th, 1952. He's from, Chilpancingo, Mexico?
Chilpancingo?
Chilpancingo? I don't speak Spanish.
Neither do I.
Yeah. He's an electrical engineer. We'll forgive him for that. With a PhD from the University of Birmingham in the United Kingdom.
So he's the most qualified of everyone flying.
Yeah. Capcom. Yeah.
Yep. Capcom.
His specialty was telecommunications.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And as a fun fact, he was in the Latin American dub of Finding Dory.
Ooh.
Apparently there's a spot where they go to a museum or something, and he's the announcer in that.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, that one's that's a sequel to Finding Nemo. Okay.
Yeah.
That's recent.
I don't know. When did that come out? I have no
idea. Sometime between last year and 10 years ago, because that all just mixes together.
Yeah. So if you want a fun bit of trivia for this mission, Shaw put a padlock on the main hatch controls because so Rudolfo was added to the mission about 5 months before it flew, about the same time that Charlie Walker did, and the crew had already been in training for about 1.5 years at that point, because that's shuttle mission training is about 2 years.
Okay.
And earlier that year on STS-61B, I think it was, a payload specialist got depressed and was saying some very concerning things, like, if I can't fix my experiment, I'm not coming down. And he did. This is nothing against Rudolfo here, but Charlie had already flown that year, right? He already knew what spaceflight was like. He didn't know how Rudolfo would handle it.
No.
Because, right, if you get selected as an astronaut, you have to go through all the training, everything. If you're a payload specialist, you don't really. Not all of it. You're not an astronaut. You're just a guy who shows up.
You're just riding with the astronauts.
Yeah, you still do training and all that, but it's not the same.
Okay.
So he was worried that Rudolfo would flip out. That's to quote. That's what he said.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's not. That's. I guess. Hey, astronauts are people too, right?
They're people, and you just don't know how you'll handle that kind of environment. If you read Mike Mullane's autobiography, he talks about at some point as he's in the van going to the shuttle for his first flight, and he said, "Oh, I'm actually flying this." Oh. Right, I'm doing that. This wasn't just fun. Oh, I'm going in there. Oh no.
And finally, the reality set in.
Yeah. So being an astronaut's a stressful job. That's why they do screenings.
Make sure that you can handle the stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So the launch date is November 27th, 1985 at 7:29 p.m. There's no scrubs or delays.
Really? It just goes smoothly.
Yeah.
Wow. That is a beautiful launch.
Second night launch of the shuttle program. We already did STS-8, the first one.
Yes.
Third night launch of the space program.
Really?
In total, yeah. The first one was Apollo 17.
They launched at night?
Yeah, because they were targeting a specific site that they wanted to get specific visuals of.
Ah, okay.
Yep. Now, on the liftoff and during the flight, there was blow-by on the left SRB.
Uh-oh.
You know what's going on in 2 months after this mission?
That's foreboding, little foreshadowing.
Yeah. Uh-oh. So
That's
the
not good.
first orbit it goes to is 220.2 by 220-ish miles. So it's 354 kilometers up at 28.4 degrees, due east out of the Cape.
Okay.
It's one of those missions. The final orbit it ends up at is 234 by 225 miles. So it's like 377 by 363 miles. I mean, kilometers up. That's
Yeah, kilometers are very different from miles.
apparently. Just ask the
For
Mars
some
Climate Orbiter.
What is this? All right, never mind. Let's keep going.
We're doing Mars Climate Orbiter eventually, don't worry. We have plans. So as a quick highlight for this mission, it's actually a 7-ish day mission, but you know the way you're launching in the middle of the night, so it's
Yeah.
so the first thing to do is pretty much get to orbit and dump Morelos B. The next
Get out of here.
Yep. The next day they're going to deploy OSSAT-2 and do a waste dump. I don't need pictures of that, don't worry.
Okay.
There is one of the shuttle missions, they had an icicle form on their waste dump. They had to use the RMS to knock it off. There's pictures of it.
Oh man, you gotta scrub the toilet, huh?
Yeah, and then they deploy SATCOM on day 3, and day 4 is the first ease access work. Pretty much the initial assembly of things, see how that goes. And then they're going to do science.
Science rules.
Also, day 2 is when they celebrate Thanksgiving, so...
All right, because that's when Thanksgiving would be.
Then day 6 is EVA-2. This time they're going to use the RMS for ease access, move stuff around. And then day 7 is more science, and then they're going to land.
Okay.
Pretty-
They really space all this stuff out.
Well, spacing out the EVAs was actually a smart choice because they get exhausted otherwise.
Oh,
Because they're
right.
outside for 6 hours building stuff.
Yeah.
It's a union requirement.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. So here goes Morelos B. Wave to it. This looks
Bye.
vaguely familiar, doesn't it? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Look, they're dumping the can.
Yep, there it goes. And I couldn't find any pictures of OSSAT deployment, but you know what it looks like? That.
Oh, wow.
Wow, exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. When you said that, it's like, oh, they're deploying OSSAT and then waste dumping. I thought that was supposed to be the same thing, but okay.
We like Australians here. They're fine.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so this is the commander up close. There's a lot of shots like this, by the way, where it's like really up close shots of the face.
That's kind of uncanny.
Yeah, and then there's and you can see the background's kind of darkish. I don't think these images were treated properly. I don't know anything about making pictures.
So his face is really bright.
Yeah,
And then the darkness is not.
and then Jerry Ross went to CVS.
Oh, yep. Got a receipt.
Yep, in the mid deck, as you can see. And they got the treadmill out too.
Ooh.
There's the treadmill.
Yeah.
Look at that. And there goes SATCOM. So that's
Bye.
See, it's a different kick stage.
Yeah. It's also a box as opposed to a cylinder.
Yeah. Pretty much all new geostationary satellites are boxes now.
Incredible.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's this. That's a Star 63.
Cool.
It's a cute motor.
Yeah. Cute little guy.
Yeah. He weighs a couple tons. So here's Charlie at Cephas doing his job.
Yeah. He kind of looks like you ever see the people like repairing or maintaining the vending machine? That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah. I mean, Cephas is the size of a vending machine.
It's a vending machine, but for for Cephas stuff.
Yeah, they already did Space Coke, and we're building up to Space Coke 2, you know?
The vending machine.
Yeah. That's the next ISS payload, it's just a vending machine. Great. There's a 5-second film of that.
There is?
Yeah, it's an astronaut in the ISS with a vending machine. He's kicking it because it got stuck or something like that. It got stuck in there or something.
Oh, yeah, because it doesn't fall down.
Yeah, because it works like gravity. Yeah. And there's Mary on the RMS.
Cool.
So here's Rudolfo having, what is this?
A burrito?
There's a tortilla.
Ah, a tortilla.
He wanted to bring this on because he's Mexican. It's a cultural staple. And NASA learned something interesting. Tortillas are just bread, basically, right? They're wheat, they're grain.
Right.
NASA wasn't flying sandwiches up because bread is crumbly, right?
So it crumbled?
No, it didn't.
Oh, yeah, because tortillas are softer.
They're softer, and you can make sandwiches with them.
Aha.
To this day, astronauts make sandwiches with tortillas. You can find video of this on the ISS. There's pictures on future shuttle missions where they're making their food with tortillas.
That is awesome.
He's the reason they do this.
So the greatest astronaut who's ever flown.
Yep, he flew once. Yep, so that's I think that's them having Thanksgiving.
Makes sense, yeah.
And so there's Repcro. He's taking the picture of it.
Ah, okay, yeah.
See,
yeah.
there we go.
Gotta hold it steady. All right, you don't want to get it blurry.
He's in space.
Yeah. And look, a bad artist blames his tools.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. So let's do some EVAs.
Okay, gearing up for some EVA. Yes.
So the first one's on the 29th. It's 5.5 hours long.
Pretty good.
So EVA 1 is Jerry Ross. Here, he's the red stripe.
Okay.
EVA 2 is Woody. He's got the mustache.
Okay.
So the first focus is access. So the assembly line of the truss. Now, on the ground, it took about 2 hours. They planned for 2 hours to build it. They do it in 55 minutes.
So they do it way faster.
Yeah, because there's no water in the way.
Gotta get all the water out of space.
Yeah, gotta drain it. Gotta drain the payload bay.
Yeah.
So they did it twice, just to show off.
It's like, oh, look at how much better we construct here in space compared to Earth.
Then they did Ease, where they built it 8 times instead of the 6 they planned.
Really just showing off.
Yeah, it's showing off. So Spring would note hand fatigue by the 3rd time they do this, and numbness on his thumb area, like somewhere around down here in the gloves. So because what they're doing is they're picking up the big truss and they're moving it around with their hands, right?
Oh, so there's a lot of torque right there.
There's a lot of torque right there. So that was a big issue for them. But spacing out the EVAs was actually very helpful for them to rest. So in the second EVA, since all the pictures are mixed together, that's why I'm doing them together, not separately, is on December 1st, so my minus 10th birthday.
When you were negative 10 years old.
Yep. Which is 6 hours, 41 minutes. So again, it's Ross and Spring in the same spots, and then Mary is on the RMS. So this time they're doing, again, ease and access, and now they're going to do simulating repairs. They're going to pick up the RMS, with the RMS, move it around, see what you can do. So like Ross will actually like hold the truss and point it at the moon to see how it was like to move it around. I have pictures of that.
Yes.
All right. So here they are suiting up again.
Right, going into getting into the thing to fill it up with water, so that way they could go out into the payload bay
into space. Yeah. Yep. And here we go. These some nice shots.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, okay, so they're coming out like basically the bottom.
Yeah, as you can see.
So they're crawling out of the thing.
Yep, there he is. So there's Woody down there.
Okay.
And here he is again, because he has no stripes. I think Jerry would take most of the pictures during this. Okay. Especially if it's like a shot like this, where it looks like he's, floating around. He's on the RMS. So this is the second EVA.
Got it. So He's taking all the pictures while Woody does all the work.
Yeah.
Typical construction.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a union job. You gotta do it a certain way.
Yeah.
So let's build a truss. So this is ease.
Ooh. Those are big.
Oh, it is big. Yeah. The access truss is 45 feet long.
Yeah, that's...
You'll see.
Okay, so somehow this seems smaller / bigger in my head. I don't know. The scale's throwing me off.
Well, it's because these pictures being taken from the flight deck.
Right?
So that might
But
be
I
an
mean,
issue.
compared to the astronauts that are actually working on them.
That is true. Well, ease is pretty small compared to access. We'll see that coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the things they noted during this was ease was harder to build because they didn't have like foot restraints. Because you can see they're just up there moving stuff around.
Okay, so foot restraints are important for in-space construction.
Yeah, because if you think about it, on Earth, your foot restraint is gravity.
Yeah, it's the ground.
Yeah, so it's a bit harder to do. So you can see, they're building this to kind of moving the big stuff around. You can see he's trying to joust.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gotta have a little fun with it, yeah.
yeah. And then let's build access.
Okay, yeah, that's
noticeably larger.
yes.
Yeah, he's on the assembly line, building it.
Clocking in, getting out of the assembly line, doing a hard day's work, clocking out.
So here it is from the RMS. So in this one, you can see Ross is trying to simulate, stringing a cable along. So you can see the cable.
Oh, through the loops.
Yep.
Yeah, I see.
Again, it's building the ISS was build everything on the ground first.
Yeah, because doing this sucks.
Pretty much the only thing they did during ISS assembly, which we'll discuss when we actually get to the ISS, was making sure everything was in place and attaching cables.
So basically just doing like the truck stuff where
Pretty much.
you just hook up the cables. Okay.
Because again, it's for EVAs, you got to suit up, so that's an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do pre-breathing beforehand, and then you got to go out in the suit and move around. Suits are at like 4 psi. They're kind of stiff too, which is not good.
Not great for building.
Yeah.
Doing the actual things that you need to do in space.
Yeah, one of the things Ross would note is the NBL is great for training, but for what they were doing, felt kind of small. It was almost too small for them. Because
In what sense?
the simulating building a large structure in the pool, it just wasn't big enough for them.
Oh.
Yeah. Because he was talking about, well, when we build a bigger facility, we have to, which didn't happen, of course, but...
Yeah.
So here he is with the truss, trying to maneuver it around.
Just eat the truss.
He's doing the pizza sign thing where he's twirling the sign,
Oh, yeah. Helicopter.
Yeah. So that's the station keeping target, by the way. It's a little, like 2 circles on top of each other, like 3 or 8 circles, like that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't care enough about that target to get any more pictures of it.
All right. But I mean, the view is impressive.
Oh yeah, this is a great shot. I love it because you have just the clouds there and the shadow of the orbiter. It's really good.
Yeah.
So this EVA actually also has a lot more fun shots that I was using. So here's one. This is
the hinge.
Yeah, those are the hinges, and you can see we're by the satellite storage.
Yeah. Oh, there's the front. Okay, so we're looking forward.
Yeah, so that's forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the deployment mechanism from in flight back there.
Oh, so it's just a little thing that opens them up.
Yeah, it's a sun shield.
Oh, okay.
And all these dots are for tracking. Or no,
to recreate it in CGI.
Those look like screws. Never mind. I know if you look at ISS shots, you have the silver can of the ISS module. You have dots that are like a white circle, black center.
Mm-hmm.
Those are for machine vision.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Yeah.
This is, I guess, is for image tracking, so they can replace it all with CGI.
Yeah, or it's something like that. And also, so for the results of this, so they took a lot of video of them assembling things and compared it to video of them doing assembly in the lab, so they could actually see how long it took to time things. The results for that are in the description because I didn't want to look at charts for too long. I was looking at pictures like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Right, this is a good shot.
This is an awesome shot.
As you can see, there's the center SSME.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the tail. I mean, how many times you got a shot like this from these angles?
Not too many.
We'll get a lot more when we get to the ISS. Don't worry. There's so many.
Yes.
Because they had digital cameras by that point.
Finally upgraded. They finally moved past the pixel shortage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first shuttle missions were all sketched, which took forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first one's like they chiseled it out. Stop floating. Here's another good one. So there's Woody going along the side.
The hinge.
Yep. Also, so that no step, that's where the fuel cells are to power the shuttle.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I should step on that.
If you want to, I guess. Don't, please.
Please don't.
Please don't do that. Yeah, so there's that, and then here's another shot. It's the unique shot from the mission. I added more pictures this time than STS-77, where it's like 45 minutes of experiments and 2 minutes of, here's the mission.
Yeah. I mean, these are incredible shots.
Oh, these are great.
Oh, yeah.
We're back on board. So one of the things, as I was reading about this mission, I learned was that O'Connor and Spring would joke around a lot. But the way they do it was they'd be very serious and then all of a sudden drop something insane.
Oh.
And they played pranks on each other, too. So remember, Woody is an Army pilot, but O'Connor's Marine. So there's inter-service rivalry there. So what happened? So on board, you have sleeping compartments, and Woody would have music he'd listen to. So O'Connor put the Navy at, what is it called, like Anchors Away. He recorded over one of his songs in there. So at some point in the middle of the night, the crew is sleeping. All of a sudden, Spring wakes up and shouts, "O'Connor, you son of a bee!" Just blasting it.
That's great.
Yeah. Here's the crew doing crew things. There's
Grown crystal counting dust.
Crystal counting dust. There's Brewster Shaw at the controls.
Yes.
Flying his spaceship. Spaceman.
Commander.
Yes, Commander. And this is a weird shot I noticed. So that was Rodolfo just floating. I think that's Ross over there. It's just a weird shot.
It is. I think the lighting... Is it the lighting or just like the coloration is just green?
It's the coloration that ends up this way. Because on some shuttle missions, a lot of the shots look like this. Like they're taken in a swimming pool. Mm-hmm. And you can color correct them. Oh, there's another astronaut there.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's just a weird image.
Yeah. Space. I mean, space. There's no up in space.
No, there is not. And of course, here's Woody near the hatch. There's Cephas behind him. And I think that's Rodolfo there, I think. Because he's wearing glasses for most of his shots.
Yeah. It also kind of goes to show just how small the mid-deck is.
Yeah.
Because there's the chair, there's the front, and there's the back with the airlock.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Yeah.
So let's land.
Okay.
So the mission lands on December 3rd, 1985 at 1:33 p.m. Pacific. One orbit early.
Oh.
Because
it had a schedule.
Because of weather.
Oh.
Yeah. They land at Edwards, as you can see, because it's the dry lake bed, not,
That looks like Florida.
Yeah, Florida. The notorious desert, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole mission is 6 days, 21 hours, and 4 minutes. 109 orbits.
So they had 8 days in the schedule, but only we're up there for 6 and a half.
Well, if you count like the way it works, the way they counted them, it's 8.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't find many results on this flight, except for ease and access, which is just... So it took them 5 seconds longer to do this one task on this EVA at this time, which is... You can, if you want to really learn about it, I've linked it in the description. You can go be weird, okay?
You can look at it with your nerdy eyes.
Yeah. Well, I go do real things like podcasting, okay?
Yeah.
Real big boy jobs.
Podcasting.
So, again, I couldn't find anything on the satellites, but their lifespan was like 10 years, so I'm assuming they're dead by now. From a mission
really? You don't
40
say.
years ago? Yeah. I don't think they work anymore. I found some documentation on Cephas, but it looks like it did the job like it was supposed to. They grew some.
Well, yeah, one of the guys who had invented it was
Yeah.
up there.
They grew some crystals.
Mm-hmm.
I did find a good quote from Rudolfo, because I think it's kind of interesting. So they had a full statement. These are the 2 paragraphs I actually liked. I thought were pretty nice. So he said, "As a boy, I always dreamed of flying in space, but it was hard to imagine the vast distances to celestial bodies and the speed at which one would have to travel to reach them. During the 1950s, no one had ever flown in space. I had no reason to believe that I ever would. In November 1985, I flew on NASA's space shuttle, Orbiter Atlantis."
That's pretty powerful.
That is powerful. And then this other one stuck with me. "I wondered if there were other living creatures far away, what they might be like, or whether they had existed earlier and been absorbed by the vastness of the universe, or the infinity of time. How insignificant this one terrestrial human appeared compared to the blue planet that sustained so many millions of us through countless generations."
So prophetic.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he's also said that everyone, again, the best place to be was on the flight deck because he had all the windows. So you could just look at everything.
Yeah.
Because one of the things we don't talk about on these missions is they do a lot of Earth observation. So they take pictures of the Earth. You do a lot of observations of Mexico, of course, because it's like, hey, look, home.
Yeah, that's home.
I can see my house from here.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't include those because
Earth's boring.
it's Earth.
It sucks.
You have Google Maps now.
Yeah, it's lame.
Yeah, and again, for like EVA stuff, we kind of learned that building stuff in space is really hard, so don't do it.
Don't do it. Prefab everything.
Yeah, minimize everything. Which reminds me, the ISS crew habitation module was on display at the Space and Rocket Center. Remember I pointed out those 2 cylinders on the way in that were sitting out?
No.
I remember that. Those were the modules.
Oh, they're just there.
They're just there. We could have gone and seen them, but I didn't realize they were there. I thought they were like at NASA, like hangar somewhere, but no, they're at Space and Rocket Center.
All right, I'll drive 10 hours back.
Okay.
And
you to get me sick again?
Yes.
Cool.
I'll bring a new disease for you.
Awesome. So, yep, that's STS-61B. Fun little mission. Nothing goes wrong. I mean, there's the blow-by, which is foreshadowing.
Yep. We got the blow-by foreshadowing. We have the invention of using tortillas for space food. Like, enormous innovations in space food right there.
We grew
like the greatest thing since sliced bread type deal.
Oh, no. Greatest thing since growing crystal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun little mission. Again, nothing goes really wrong on this one. They do some EVA. They do assembly of things. It's a fun mission. Again, it's better to have your missions be boring and work than exciting and catastrophic.
I mean, this was honestly a great mission.
Oh, yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I guess, Jerry Ross got the spaceflight bug on this one. 7 flights.
Yeah. You go up once, you get it.
Most of these guys would, like, the average, like, career span of an astronaut is like 2 or 3 flights. Because it's just...
They did 7.
Yeah, because it's just so... It's 2 years of training. It's emotionally draining for you and your family because, right, your family goes to see the launch, and it's, well, let's hope it works.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah, usually it's 2 or 3 flights, and then for Jerry, it's, no, I love this. This is great.
More, please.
Yeah. Yeah. STS-61B. Fun mission.
Yeah. It's great.
And on the next episode, you're taking us to Mercury.
We're going to Mercury, boys.
Woo!
Yeah! Woo!
We're going to try to get 17.3 episodes out this year. We're going to try to do one every 3 weeks. I hope that works, considering I'm trying to finish graduate school. The thing that will, makes me money. So let's hope we can do that.
Yeah.
You're going to do a few more episodes.
Yeah.
Like the next one.
Yep. Like this one that you see before your very eyes.
Yes. Any final thoughts on STS-61B?
Great episode.
Fun episode.
And God bless Mexico.
Yeah.
They've massive innovation in space food.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, Thank you everyone for watching. This has been End of Mission.